Today, we're diving into a popular post from the Reddit titled as, "Friend Crank called me at my job, so I had him served with a fake paternity suit at his." This post received 22,377 upvotes. Posted by Tremendo the Great. The post reads as follows. 10 years ago a friend of mine Crank called me several times in my office over the course of a day. I decided in that moment that 1. This would not stand, and 2. Rather than entering into a long, protracted quagmire of a prank war, I would use the nuclear option and end it immediately. My friend, Mike, was a well-known local bartender. I worked at the same bar as a bouncer, and he was very much enjoying single life at the time, facts which I knew I could take advantage of. Soon a plan began to form. I would have him served with a fake paternity suit while he was working at the bar. So, I compiled a ton of free online legal documents, not just for the paternity suit, but also income disclosure forms, statements of parental rights, and suggested visitation schedules pending demonstrable proof of sobriety. I filled out all the forms, then smeared what looked like date-received stamps as proof they had been filed and ran copies to make those stamps even more illegible. From there, I crafted a backstory to be included in a cover letter from the fictional mother's fake law firm, the nearby city, Family Law Center, on letterhead and all. The mother was an Irish exchange student visiting the area the previous summer. She had only been with Mike, so she knew the baby, Eliza, was his. The cover letter encouraged Mike to call during regular office hours to discuss arranging a DNA test to affirm paternity. I set up a generic voicemail for the number listed as the office on the letterhead. By the end, the paperwork was somewhere between 20 to 25 pages. I enlisted another friend not known by Mike to serve the documents and instructed him to do so around 10 p.m. on a Saturday evening. I told him to keep the interaction very simple. I wasn't able to be by the back bar because I knew I would be laughing too hard, but based on eyewitness reports it played out like this. Friend. Are you Mike? Last name. Mike. Yes friend. Michael, middle name, last name. Mike. Yes friend. Drops folder on bar. Mike. What's that? Friend. Paternity suit. You've been served. Turns around and immediately walks out of the bar. Mike. Yeah, that sounds about right. Mike read through the packet, shakily poured himself several drinks, and then ran over to the bar owner, who was aware of the prank, to ask what to do. He also called the number on the letterhead but sadly did not leave a voicemail. After a solid 10 minutes of intense psychological revenge, the owner finally told Mike he should closely read the last page of the packet. On it, in size 2 font it read, "Go fuck yourself, Mike." At which point, Mike ran to the front door and punched me in the chest. Epilogue. Several months later, Mike was on a trip across the country. He had left his car at home with his mom who generously had it washed for him. Mike for some reason kept the paternity suit paperwork in his driver's side door. During the course of the car wash, his mother found it and read the entire thing, then called him sobbing in the middle of the night asking why he hadn't told her about her bastard Irish granddaughter. A comment from user DONTMESSWITHMYCAT says, "That epilogue though. Odd. You think he was frantically trying to explain, or he was just laughing his ass off on how incredible this revenge was, rolling on the floor laughing." This comment received 5987 upvotes. A reply from the original author Tremendo the Great says, after figuring out why she was frantically sobbing, he eventually calmed her down. She didn't believe him the first few times he explained that the baby wasn't real. I met her for the first time about 8 years later at his wedding. She held a grudge. This reply received 5486 upvotes. A comment from user Smokedegs says, "OMG, this is great. Love that his mom found it, too. Another win for you." This comment received 583 upvotes. A comment from user Tashkira says, "Petty revenge, served pro. Me likey. The fact he dealt himself an extra serving of the revenge is icing on the cake." This comment received 983 upvotes. A reply from the original author Tremendo the Great says, If this makes the front page of Reddit, I'm going to screenshot it, print it out, and send it framed to my friend as an eternal reminder. This reply received 857 upvotes. A comment from user coins_additive says, "Would you have done this if he just prank called you instead of crank calling?" This comment received 111 upvotes. A comment from user moon__lander says, "I would use the nuclear option epilogue." His mother found it and read the entire thing, then called him sobbing in the middle of the night asking why he hadn't told her about her bastard Irish granddaughter. "I think the fallout was worse than the nuke." This comment received 70 upvotes. A comment from user psychobetty303 says, "I doubt anyone will ever prank you again. I'm curious how many hours you spent orchestrating this fucking epic, nuclear, revenge." This comment received 117 upvotes. A reply from the original author Tremendo the Great says, "I spent a Friday afternoon preparing it all." This reply received 119 upvotes. A comment from user Archon Slytherin says, "Well done, op. The epilogue is what got me though." This comment received 41 upvotes. A comment from user Torteraman says, "Crank." This comment received 31 upvotes. A comment from user Sequin Goddess says, "Please accept my poor people's gold. Sports medal, sports medal, sports medal." This comment received 60 upvotes. A comment from user One-Eyed Willie says, "If there was another bartender there, you should have sent him an Irish car bomb after he finished reading the paperwork and started freaking out." This comment received 64 upvotes.